Good to have you with us. You're watching Mirror Now, and this is the big story. I'm Avni Raja. Let's straight get to some breaking news that we've got coming in. Bulandshahr SSP has said that eve-teasing charge in the Sudiksha Bhati death case was cooked up by the media and family members to sensationalize the case. SSP added that initial statements and complaints by the family didn't mention anything about eve-teasing. Those are the details coming in. Listen in.
मौके के चश्मदीद हैं हेमंत शर्मा। इन्होंने ही अपने टेलीफोन से, मोबाइल फोन से लोकल पुलिस औरंगाबाद के थाना प्रभारी को फ़ोन किया। इनका कहना है कि हमारे ही फ़ोन से उस लड़के ने अपने परिवार को सूचना दी। तत्काल एम्बुलेंस आई, पुलिस मौके पे आई और इनको ले गई। शुरुआती दौर में कहीं भी लड़के ने भी अपना 1 मिनट का एक बयान दिया है। उस बयान में छेड़खानी आज की कोई बात नहीं की है। केवल इमरजेंसी ब्रेक लेने और फिर टकराने से गिरने से बहन की मौत हो जाने का उल्लेख है। लड़के ने एक तहरीर भी लिखी थी, लेकिन उसने यह कह करके वापस ले लिया कि परिवार वाले आएंगे तब मुकदमा लिखा जाएगा।
आपने सर 2-3 बार ये बात बोला कि गाड़ी लड़का चला रहा था, मगर कहीं ना कहीं जो बातें सामने आ रही हैं उसमें ये कहा जा रहा है कि जो बाइक थी जिसमें सुदीक्षा बैठी हुई थी वो उनके चाचा चला रहे थे, और आपकी एफआईआर में भी कहीं ना कहीं इस बात का जिक्र है। तो ये क्या है सर, ये कॉन्ट्रास्टिंग स्टेटमेंट्स क्यों आ रहे हैं सर?
देखिए, इस पूरे प्रकरण को बहुत ही गलत तरीके से ट्विस्ट करते हुए और कतिपय लोगों द्वारा सनसनीखेज बनाने के इरादे से गलत रूप में लगातार प्रस्तुत करने का प्रयास किया गया। और जब हम लोगों ने सत्येंद्र भाटी के संबंध में जानकारी का प्रयास किया, एफआईआर में भी है कि वो साथ में था, जबकि चश्मदीद का कहना है कि वो लड़का गाड़ी चला रहा था। शुरुआत में लड़के का कहना था कि वो स्वयं गाड़ी चला रहा था, जिसकी वीडियो हमारे पास है। सत्येंद्र भाटी की 8:50 पे जब घटना हुई है, उस समय की लोकेशन उसके अपने निजी निवास दादरी जनपद गौतम बुद्ध नगर में है। 9:17 तक वो अपने घर की टावर में है। 9:21 पे मानिकपुर में लोकेशन है। 9:54 पर सुबह सिकंदराबाद पहुंचता है। 10:13 पे वो बुलंदशहर सिटी में आता है और 10:49 पर घटनास्थल वाले टावर में पहुंचता है। तो जिससे बिल्कुल स्पष्ट है कि वो मौके पे नहीं था। घटना की सूचना प्राप्त होने के 2 घंटे बाद वो व्यक्ति मौके पर पहुंचा है।
All right, well, that's what the SSP has to say, that the eve-teasing charge was something that was made by the family members to sensationalize the entire issue, and that the initial statements and complaints that were made by the family didn't mention anything about eve-teasing. Family, however, sticks to its guns, saying that that was in fact what happened. But let's go across to Prashant, who's joining us for more details. Prashant, of course, this is something that's being reiterated time and again by the UP police, in fact, as far as the eve-teasing charges are concerned. But what can you tell us?
Well, you see the kind of statement that we have just got from the SSP of Bulandshahr, Mr. Santosh Kumar Singh. He believes that there's perhaps an effort to, in a way, sensationalize the case by the family members, and also, in a way, by some miscreants, quote-unquote, just for the fact that this case involves someone who has got a lot of social media attention and people are talking about it. Now, when I asked him, why is it that no arrests have been made yet, he said that he have already formed a 3-member committee, SIT, to probe the case, which is there at the spot in Dadri, where the family resides. He says that if something comes out of it, if there's even a small angle of eve-teasing that comes out of it, we will add the section into the FIR. But for now, what we can tell you is that the SSP says that the initial complaint never mentioned of any sort of eve-teasing, and also in a way contradicts the family's claim that perhaps it was the uncle of Sudiksha Bhati who was riding the bike. The cops say that perhaps it was his minor brother who was on the driving seat, and the cops are quoting an eyewitness here, Mr. Sharma, who apparently was at the spot, just 25 meters away, and he has told the cops that at the time of the accident, only 2 people were there. The girl was bleeding profusely, and the boy was there with a minor injury, and it was in fact his telephone that was used to inform the cops as well as the family members of Sudiksha Bhati. So clearly, cops are alleging some sort of an effort to sensationalize the case. But on the other hand, the family members say that perhaps there was an act of eve-teasing that led to this accident, and following which the girl who had a very bright future collapsed in the accident.
All right, Prashant, thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. Meanwhile, Myrna also spoke to Sudiksha's father, who admitted that his nephew was riding the bike when the accident took place. But he stuck to his stand that his daughter had been harassed by bikers and added that if the police bothers them, he along with his family will kill themselves. Listen in.
बुलंदशहर पुलिस या बुलंदशहर डीएम जो भी बोल रहे हैं या मेरा भाई बोल रहा है, मैं मौके पे नहीं था। मैंने घर से तीनों भेजे थे, तीनों ने तीनों नहीं है, दोनों होंगे। रास्ते में मेरा भाई कहीं उतर गया, रह गया, कुछ भी हो गया, साथ है या नहीं है, मैं उससे भी सेटिस्फाई नहीं हूँ। मैं सेटिस्फाई हूँ तो अपने आप से हूँ। जो बच्चे ने मुझे बताया, अगर पुलिस बता रही है कि बच्चा नाबालिग वाहन चला रहा है, पहले तो ये डीएम और ये प्रशासन, ये पुलिस जो है अपने ये बयान वापस लें। मैं अपने भाई के बयान वापस लेता हूँ कि मैं बाइक चला रहा हूँ। मैं मानता हूँ कि मेरा भतीजा बाइक चला रहा था। पुलिस मान रही है ना, प्रशासन डीएम मान रहा है मेरा भतीजा बाइक चला रहा है। मैं मानता हूं कि मेरा भतीजा बाइक चला रहा है। डीएम और एसपी भी या जो भी पुलिस अधिकारी हैं आज के वो अपने बयान वापस लें कि ये एक्सीडेंटल है। एक्सीडेंटल नहीं है, ये जानबूझकर केस किया गया है। ना तो वहाँ पे प्रशासन मौके पे था, ना वहाँ पे जो गवाह खड़ा है, ना वो मौके पे था आज के।
In fact, Alok is joining us for more details. Alok, so here clearly the family is firm on its stand about the sequence of events and what led to the death of Sudiksha. And the police, meanwhile, is saying that there was no charge of eve teasing that was put as when the complaint first came.
Well, Avni, first of all, the family's allegation, what they are saying, all are put in the FIR. But despite that, the sections which are supposed to be there, they are not there. Yes, the accident had happened. Sudiksha lost her life because of because of the bikers, because they put the sudden brakes, and the bike on which Sudiksha was traveling that hit that motorcycle. That is written. There is also one part that is mentioned in the FIR, and in fact, what the right now the SSP has just said, SP City has said that one person was that only a brother was riding the motorcycle. Then why the FIR is mentioning that her uncle was riding the motorcycle? That is first part. The second part is that in the FIR it is mentioned that two persons were chasing the motorcycle. It means that there was some stalking incident was happened with the girl, because if you are chasing anybody with malified intention and if you put the sudden brakes so that this person could fall, so definitely these sections should also be there. But the FIR, if you see the FIR, only 304, that is death due to negligence, and 279, that is other motor vehicle acts, and rash driving. These are the sections which are there, but not the stalking or the eve teasing section is there. That is what the question is, and that is what the family is asking the question from the police, that why they did not put this as section in the FIR. So that is one part. The other part is that the FIR registered after 30 hours, and in fact the initial time of investigation just gone in counter allegation and allegations, and in fact in that time police supposed to be arrest those persons who were involved in this accident, but these persons are still on run, and this is also the police, this is the reason the family is also raising the question on the police investigation. Where are these persons? At least they should have arrested, then only the clear picture will come out. Back to you.
Yes, absolutely, Alok. Thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. Meanwhile, a day after claims and counterclaims emerged in the sensational UP topper Sudiksha Bhati death case, SIT has started its probe. The 3-member special investigation team recorded the statement of the victim's father and will record the uncle's statement as well. However, even 2 days after the Bulandshahr accident took place, the police is yet to ascertain the sequence of events. In fact, Alok Singh confronted an SIT member on this issue. Listen in.
अभी तो हम लोग गांव में जांच करने आए हैं
जी।
अभी इनके चाचा वगैरह आएंगे, उनसे बात करेंगे। अभी वो लोग गए गंगा पे, तब बात करेंगे। अभी आएंगे थोड़ी देर बाद हम
तो
लोग।
चाचा वगैरह मतलब जो चाचा हैं जो क्लेम कर रहे थे कि उन्होंने बाइक चला रहे थे, आप उनकी बात
उस संबंध में हमें कोई जानकारी नहीं है।
तो क्या है, क्या एग्जैक्टली क्या है अभी तक, क्या स्टेटस क्या है सर? सर ये परिवार अभी भी संतुष्ट नहीं है FIR से जो है। परिवार अभी भी संतुष्ट नहीं है सर एफआईआर। वो कह रहे हैं कि 354 ए वाला केस एफआईआर में क्यों नहीं डाला गया, सेक्शन क्यों नहीं, जो छेड़छाड़ वाला सेक्शन क्यों नहीं डाला गया?
यहाँ पर जो
क्यों सर?
जो तहरीर दी है उस पर मुकदमा लिखा गया, उसमें हम लोग थोड़ी
सर तहरीर पे ऊपर हुआ है।
यहाँ पहुँचे
तो
हैं,
आप आगे की अभी का स्टेटस बता दीजिए, एग्जैक्टली अभी क्या स्टेटस है?
अभी उसके बाप से बात हुई है लड़की के से, और बात करेंगे ना आगे भी थोड़ी देर में।
Moving on now to news from Bihar, where the approach road of the Bhangraghat Masahetu on Gandak River in Gopalganj district has been washed away just hours before its inauguration. This cost 509 crore rupees, was to be inaugurated by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar today, but the road was washed away due to the high water pressure following flooding of the river. The senior engineers and officers are trying to repair the damage, but those are the visuals there on your screens. This is now the third similar incident that has happened in the last few weeks. Shyam joining us for more details. Shyam, this is now the third incident that we're talking about where, you know, these approach roads to bridges have completely collapsed and have been washed away. What can you tell us?
Well, yes, absolutely. This is surprising because the Chief Minister is inaugurating this pool just now. A virtual conference is being held with the Chief Minister, where apart from this Bhangraghat Mahasetu, he is also inaugurating various other projects. But what is surprising and shocking is that just hours before the inauguration, the approach road of this Bhangraghat Mahasetu, which was constructed at a cost of rupees 509 crore rupees, has been washed away. This clearly shows that the level of corruption in the pool certainly shows that it is because of quality these approach roads have been washed away. And remember, this is not the first case. Even in the past few weeks, we have seen that how the approach road of bridges which were constructed and inaugurated by the Chief Minister, and days after its inauguration, the approach road has either been washed away or demolished. This clearly shows the level of corruption. But what is surprising is that no action has been taken against any officials or neither the contractor.
All right, Shyam, thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. And on that note, we're going to slip into a very quick break, but come back with lots more on the other side. Stay tuned. Are you confused about how and where to invest? On this show, we make it simple. A guide to help you make your money grow. A show that puts your money first. A show that makes personal finance simple. Investor's Guide. Only on Mirror Now. Uneasy calm in Bengaluru as prohibitory orders are invoked in the city a night after violence was triggered over a controversial social media post. Now, police have arrested an SDPI leader in connection with the violence. 3 civilians were killed while 70 to 75 policemen were injured in the unprecedented violence. The violence started outside a Congress MLA's residence, whose close aide allegedly put up the social media post. The mob resorted to vandalism and also burnt vehicles outside 2 police stations. There are about 110 people who have been arrested for both arson as well as stone pelting. Those, of course, are the details coming in. Take a look at this report filed by Neha.
Well, even as a tense but non-violent situation prevails over here in Bengaluru, we're showing you how, in fact, water sprayers are being used over here by the fire department, to actually douse whatever remains, of course, of this vehicle that you can see, the police van that was set ablaze last evening when, the mob actually gherowed this police station and vandalized this entire police station. Several vehicles were set on fire. Now, this happens to be one of those police vans, that was doused initially but managed to actually, catch fire again. So, which is why you also, of course, have the fire teams that were actually called in over here to, ensure that none of these other vehicles or the remains of these other vehicles which currently are over here, actually catch fire again. It was a very chaotic situation for the police also. We understand about 2,000 of, these protesters or members of the mob actually, vandalized not only the police station, but in fact, even, the lengths and the depths also. You can see even civilian vehicles were not spared, and we're seeing how even they were set ablaze. But of course, we understand now this entire area that curfew has been imposed and Section 144 across Bengaluru. It is going to be a challenging task for the police now, but all teams on ground monitoring the situation and trying to ensure that peace prevails in these areas.
And Mirana's Neha Hebbali also visited the Congress MLA's residence where the violence actually began. The mob which launched their attack from there burned down portions of the house and vandalized the area as well.
Presently, of course, we're right here at Kaval Bhairasandra outside the MLA's residence, where a little while earlier he spoke to Times Now and said, not a lot that was being revealed, very sketchy details. In the far distance, I'd like to show you the police who've been, seated, of course, just a couple of meters away from his house. This entire road, has, of course, has seen heavy deployment of police over the past 12 hours now. And more importantly, this is where it all began last evening. So, we understand that the mob first, of course, arrived over here. They were shouting slogans. They first tried to, burn down this place. You can see, and this was all done by the mob that had actually gathered over here yesterday. And, it's only after the police took stock of the situation over here that the mob further moved on to the police stations as well, which we saw was set ablaze. It was, all of this just after a Facebook post, after a social media post has gone viral, that actually went on to, that went on to really rake up a controversy of sorts. So this is how the entire house has just been reduced to, rubble. And while, of course, there are some rooms that remain unaffected, this is precisely what we've been, saying all along as to how this mob actually, came here. The MLA himself, of course, was very shaken up by this. He, just minutes after this incident has taken place, he's, actually appealed to the people not to indulge in violence and not to take law into their own hands. He's, made an appeal to people to actually maintain peace and maintain law and orders. Of course, this area also has been known for notorious incidents, but something like this to happen has definitely shaken up the entire neighborhood. And we'll, of course, have to wait and see several allegations being leveled over here by the BJP as well. But how this investigation proceeds further remains to be seen.
Meanwhile, Karnataka Minister C.T. Ravi has claimed the violence that unfolded was a result of a pre-planned attack. Listen in.
I think प्लान करके दंगा कर दिया है. ट्विटर में, फेसबुक में एक पोस्ट आने के बाद 1 घंटे के अंदर हजारों लोग इकट्ठे हुई और फायर लगा दिए. आग लगा के बाद 200-300 व्हीकल डैमेज कर दिए. एमएलए घर भी डैमेज कर दिया है. पूरा डैमेज कर दिया है. इसके पीछे दंगा करने का प्लान करके वे लोग आए हैं. विल टेक सीरियस एक्शन. Some people, they think they are behind Yabodala. that type of mentality, we will curb them.
All right, let's now turn our attention to the latest developments as far as the Sushant Singh Rajput case is concerned. Mirna has accessed details, inside details of Sushant's flatmate Siddharth Pithani's ED questioning. Now, the questioning lasted for over 14 hours, finished at about 2 a.m. early this morning. Pithani was questioned about the financial transactions as well as IT records. And ED is unlikely to summon anyone today in the Sushant case, but they're going to go through the recorded statements, including that of Riaz, who has already been questioned twice by the Enforcement Directorate.
Despite repeated requests by the Enforcement Directorate to Riya Chakravarti to hand over documents of her properties and also substantiate her claim that she had taken a loan for this property, the property documents have not yet been submitted. It is still hopeful that she will do so in days to come. At the same time, the Enforcement Directorate said that Siddharth Pithani, who was called in for questioning yesterday at around 11:30 a.m., was allowed to leave ED office in Mumbai at around 2 in the morning. ED in fact recorded his statement under Section 5 of the PMLA. He was asked about the source of his income for past 5 years and also whether any kind of contract was signed between him and Sushant Singh Rajput. Now, Siddharth Pithani in various interviews had said that he was hired by Sushant Singh Rajput, and he was also asked to inform or tell ED officials whether he used to get salary in cash or the money was transferred in his bank account, and who used to transfer this this money. More importantly, the ED has also said that Pithani will also be called in for questioning. ED officials are still present in the office despite today being a national holiday. They said that they will go through all the statements of 9 odd people whose statement have been recorded, and they will then verify what they have said with the documents that they have, and will then decide the date on which Riya Chakravarti will be called in for questioning. But it is more or less certain that she will again be called in for questioning either tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Moving on now to news from Tamil Nadu, where a spate of elephant deaths have sparked a row. Now on Monday, a 12-year-old female elephant was found unconscious and dehydrated near Coimbatore, passed away after she failed to respond to any treatment. Shockingly, she was the 17th elephant to die in Tamil Nadu in the last 7 months alone. And this we're talking only about Coimbatore. While the officials say that there is no reason to raise an alarm, there has been an 11-member team that has been created to do a study of the elephant population and to look into these deaths.
நோய் அப்படி இறந்ததில் வந்து ஒரு 6 யானைகளும் இதில் இருக்குது ஸோ இதுக்கு பல்வேறு காரணங்கள் இருக்குது. இது சுற்றுச்சூழலில் இருக்கக்கூடிய அதோடைய உணவு கிடைக்காது, உணவினுடைய குவாலிட்டி குறைஞ்சது முக்கியமான காரணமாக இருக்க முடியும். ஸோ குறிப்பாக இந்த யானை இந்த மாதிரி அதிகவுடன் இறந்த ஒரு 4 யானை வந்து ரொம்பவும் உடல் மெலிந்து காணப்பட்டு, அவன் கிட்டத்தட்ட வந்து 1 மாத காலமாக சரியாக சாப்பிடாம, கடந்த 1 வார காலமாக சுத்தமாக சாப்பிடாம தான் அது இந்த மாதிரி வந்து விழுந்திருக்கு வந்து. ஸோ இதுக்கு வந்து அதனுடைய உணவு பழக்க வழக்கம், அதுக்கு கிடைக்கக்கூடிய உணவுடைய குவாலிட்டியில் ஏதாவது பிரச்சனை இருக்கக்கூடும் நான் நினைக்கிறேன் வந்து.
And it's time to wrap up this edition. But before we go, this is some good news that we're leaving you with. Tigress Sheila has given birth to 3 cubs in Siliguri. Now, this takes the total tiger population at the Bengal Safari up to 7. And those are the images there on your screens, which we are going to leave you with.